Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to create a melodic drum and bass track from scratch inside Logic Pro X. We're covering drums, bass design, pads, leads, transitions, arrangement, and mixing. Literally everything you need to build a professional DnB tune. Let's jump straight in.
To begin, we'll set up our working environment in Logic Pro X. The tempo range for drum and bass typically falls between 160 and 180 BPM. For a melodic or liquid style, a slightly slower pace works very well. Set your project tempo to 167 BPM. Then create a 16-bar loop. This loop will act as our main sketching space, a place where we can safely experiment with drums, bass lines, and musical ideas before moving into full arrangement. Next, open Drum Machine Designer and load the drum and bass kit, or import your own clean, punchy samples. Clean samples give you more headroom and flexibility during mixing.
Drums are everything in DnB, clean, punchy, and rolling. Start with a tight kick on beats 1 and 3 and a snappy snare on 2 and 4. Now let's layer. I'll use a high-end snare on top for brightness and a low kick sample for extra weight. Lastly, a touch of bus compression using Arteria's compressor FET76 with a fast release and slow attack. With Bus Force, Arteria's plugin, for some parallel distortion with overdrive for energy. This already feels like real DnB drums, clean but groovy. For hi-hats, I'll add 16th note shakers, then vary the velocity to give movement. Adding a few ghost notes on the snare helps make it roll.
Drums are essential in drum and bass. They provide energy, character, and movement. Begin with a classic DnB rhythm. To enhance the realism of your drums, add ghost notes between the main snare hits. These are very low-velocity snare tops that sit lightly behind the main rhythm. They're subtle, but they add a rolling, human feel to the groove.
I've created the sub bass absolutely crucial in drum and bass. Start with the slightly detuned basic shapes for the sub. Then add a second oscillator of basic shapes cut off, filled 136 kHz.
We'll build a Reese layer, an essential element in many styles of drum and bass. In Vital, load 2 saw waves and detune them against each other. Add unison voices for width. Then apply a low-pass filter to control harshness in the higher frequencies. Chorus and subtle stereo widening help create the iconic movement of a Reese bass. Use EQ to remove very low frequencies, leaving space for the pure sine bass underneath. Together.
Design a soft pluck sound. A fast attack and short decay work well. Add a small amount of delay or reverb for character, but avoid washing out the sound. Compose a short melodic phrase that complements the chords. Keep it simple. Drum and bass often uses minimal but emotional melodies. For additional texture, use Logic's arpeggiator. Set it to 8th or 16th notes with a low gate setting. Blend the arpeggiated layer beneath the pads so it supports the harmony without dominating the mix.
For our melodic hook, I used a bass glide I made in Serum. Then I layered an arpeggiator using Serum and Alchemy 1/8 notes, both tracks auto-filled.
With the foundation in place, let's introduce a melodic hook. Using Serum,
Now we introduce the musical elements that define melodic drum and bass. I made a warm pad using Alchemy and Serum. Aim for a long attack and long release, creating soft harmonic clouds beneath the drums and bass. Add generous reverb and subtle modulation. Slow filter automation over time helps the pads gently evolve, creating a cinematic quality. To enrich the atmosphere, layer sounds such as field recordings, viol noise, reverb swells, or lightly processed texture samples. Atmospheric layers should be quiet yet impactful, felt more than heard.
For emotional D&B, pads are everything. Use simple, slow-moving chords. Let the reverb and filter movement create the vibe.
Transitions shape the flow from one section to the next. Use downlifters, reverse cymbals, and impact hits at key moments such as buildups and drops. Use automation extensively, especially on filter cutoff, reverb send, and volume. Automation is the secret to creating emotional tension and release. A well-designed transition lifts the energy of your drop and keeps the listener engaged from start to finish.
Transitions bring the entire track to life. Add risers, impacts, reverse crashes, automate them so sections flow naturally.
A good mix enhances your musical ideas without over-processing. Balance your levels first. Drums should peak around -5 to -6 dB. Bass around -2 to -15. Pads and leads around -10 to -14 dB.
I used Ozone. For mastering and for wideness, I added Chorus and Rev Plate 140 from Arturia on bus. I also added Pre-1073 and Comp FET 76, a bus for the bass on the drum bus. I added Pre-1073, Comp FET 76, and Bus Force plugins from Arturia. Then I added Comp FET 76 and Bus Force plugins for my instrument bus, and Chromaverb and delay and filter buses.
Apply subtractive EQ to remove muddiness, especially in the 200 to 400 Hz range. Use sidechain compression to give the kick drum room to breathe beneath the bass and pads. On the master bus, you can apply gentle compression and limiting. Avoid pushing the limiter too hard. Clarity is more important than loudness. You now have a full melodic drum and bass production built inside Logic Pro X, complete with drums, bass, pads, atmosphere, leads, transitions, arrangement, and a polished mix. This workflow is highly repeatable.
By following these steps, you can create a wide variety of drum and bass tracks, whether your style leans toward liquid, atmospheric, dance floor, or cinematic.
And that's how you create a full drum and bass track in Logic Pro X. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and grab the free D&B starter pack. See you in the next tutorial.